All right. Hey, good morning. It's 7 o'clock in Jessie's Grove. What's the date today? It's
8/28, I believe, isn't it?
Yeah.
I don't know.
It's getting towards the end of August.
Towards the end of August.
Yeah.
Every day's Tuesday right now.
Every day is a harvest day now.
Well, we have Jessie's Grove owner, grower, winemaker, Greg Burns, along with Greg Follette, who's coming out from the Sonoma Coast.
That's why the peace sign, huh?
Yeah.
All right.
And these gentlemen are looking at this giant tree-like part of the vineyard. And Greg, what is this here?
This is one of the ancient vine TOKAY vines from Lodi. This is about 125 years old. You can see the massiveness of the trunk underneath the skirt down here. It's just absolutely phenomenal.
It makes this sort of beautiful pink color fruit.
Yes. Only place in California that I know of that the green TOKAY grape turns to a flame red, and hence they call it the flame TOKAY.
And the history of TOKAYs goes back a long ways, right?
Yeah,
in Lodi.
Oh,
All right, so you have a Carrigan here?
Very minimal Carrigan vine.
nice.
Yeah.
Little berries.
Yeah.
Pretty cool.
Let's look at his Zinfandel.
Just getting right.
Okay, Greg, so this is one of those Royal Tee Vineyards that are Zinfandels that are planted in 1888? 1889? Okay.
Yep. It's so the objective here, like I was mentioning earlier, is to vinify. Mine has always been to vinify separately all the different varietals in this vineyard. Whether it's dry wine for the Zin and the Carrigan, and/or sweet wine for the port style for the TOKAY. But it's definitely a low vigor vineyards. It's been dry farmed most of its entire existence, except for irregularities with weather patterns that give a little more irrigation if needed as post-season or pre-season. And so we're excited. Greg and I are going to be pairing up and have an opportunity to work together and going naturalistic native yeast profile techniques, and we're going to instead of vinifying it separately. Greg, if you want to talk about that, what you'd like to do with it is the different varietals.
Well, I think what I'd like to do is use all the different varietals just like the old guys did.
Yep.
And do a field blend. It's still going to be over 75% Zin, so we still call it Zinfandel, but I'd kind of like to explore the heritage of what's been done here. And one of the things I'm looking at, just pulling this out, that's called the vascular bundle. It's the vascularization of the berry. There was a berry on here, and you can see how this brush or vascular bundle is really red.
Yes.
And if you take a look at these seeds, they're kind of hard. The seed coat is hard, and they're brown and crunchy, and the tannins are getting just about right. So these old vines, I think, know what they're doing, and I want to kind of explore and see what it is that makes them tick.
Right, exactly.
So these guys are you're going to be picked first thing next week?
Well,
That's
the
plan?
plan at this point.
Yeah.
Yep.
Coordination is always a challenge, but with the field crew, but we want to get in here and do that. We're going to do part of this for Greg, and I'm excited. I'm from the commercial yeast aspect of it. I'll probably do a similar version on a small lot, just so we have some comparative aspect to see how we can best perfect a field blend. I think ultimately this field would be best served by being exactly what it was designed to be, and do that with the entire field.
Yeah.
Great. All right. Thanks. Hey, Greg, what do we got here? Cinsaut. Well, tell me about this vineyard.
Oldest vineyard in the entire San Joaquin Valley that I know of. It's planted in 1886. It goes back to the original heritage of my family. It's the first vineyard my great-great-grandfather Joseph planted in 1886.
Great. Wonderful.
Thank you, great-great-grandfather.
Yeah.
He is what I do.
Yeah. Well, she's also thrown a bunch of lug boxes in her day, too. She's matcha. Matcha. Yeah, matcha. Yeah.
Dame la grasa, mi amigo, dale. Dame la grasa que vino. Lo miró guapetón. Ahorita estás a sacar la foto, Ram, le volteó la cara. Yo estaba pensando en este ayer, fíjate. Lo que veo que... Yo dije, ahora no ha venido. Ahora no ha venido tu amigo. Hasta lo soñé. Lo que estaba sacando la foto. Lo que vos te extraña el bigote de Rami. Va a salir en el periódico, ¿me?
Mucho lechuga, gente.
Yeah. This shows a little bit of variation in the seed formation here too.
Mara, you're real natural here.
Oh, it's funny because they call it salad, too much salad, and I say too much lettuce, and it cracks them up.
Well, in Loa Barca in Chile, they always say lettuce because that's what they grow there.
So Greg, why don't you pick up one of these bunches and tell us how those clusters are looking today.
Well, this cluster right here is the result of a very long pollen tube formation cycle. A lot of flowering here, I would say, probably lasted over about a 3-week period rather than just a week.
Right.
So you got everything from these little guys here, and if you take a look at that, the vascular bundle is perfectly green, with the berries green too. You take a look at something that's turgid like this, and you can see you're starting to get some color in your vascular bundle, also called your brush. And if you look at something like this that's called scrotal, it's very dark. So that's gone pretty far along. And you got, on one cluster, you got everything going on. So it should make some pretty good flavors.
And the cluster right next to it is almost perfectly formed.
So that one, absolutely, everything flowered all at the same time.
Nice in
almost
the structure.
Yeah. That's really what you want to see.
A lot of maturity.
Yeah.
In the seed. So see, the color in the seed is very nice.
Brown.
All right.
Yeah. A vineyard like this should be approached bareheaded and kneeling.
Yes, it should be.
It's a national treasure. Yeah. We've been.
Come on, Greg.
Oh, okay. All right.
This is
This is the proper stance in
old wine.
Bechthold
The way
Vineyard.
old wine Cinsaut should be approached.